So we've been told for the last 4 years that we need to just let everybody into the country. There's no borders. This land is open to everybody, and the world deserves to live on our land and take our resources. This lie has been told to us for many years, and the first couple years we kind of just took it. It was like, maybe it's not such a bad thing. But when they started literally taking over apartment buildings and people have been losing their lives because of illegal migration, a lot of the American people were just said, enough is enough. We can't take this no more. The liberals in the media was telling us for years that we must accept these illegal immigrants or we're racist and we are fascist and we hail Hitler. So a lot has unfolded this weekend, and there are people in South Africa that are being persecuted by their government and the people around them. And they're not black Africans, they're white Africans. It's pretty amazing, right? That there's actually Africans that are white in Africa and different countries. It's a shocker to liberals. And they're actually not called Africans, they're actually called Afrikaners, which is funny to me because even the white people in Africa are pretty much discriminated against because they're not even called Africans like the people that live there. They have to be called something else to like distinguish between the Africans and the white Africans, which is pretty funny in itself because we're told that Africa loves everybody, right? And as you may know, not every liberal is too happy with this because also on the weekend, Trump signed an executive order to take in these refugees, and the liberals aren't too happy about it, as you can tell, because their pigmentation isn't dark. They are from the Caucasus of Caucasia.
That is a white child. That is Caucasian from the mountains of Caucasus.
So in today's video, I thought I'd react to the ludicrousy that's going on the internet and some of the news articles that are being reported, which obviously it's not going to be on the refugee side, it's going to be on the African side, the black people side. So before we hop into this video, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to this channel for more content like this. So this is from NBC News, obviously the greatest news network on the planet.
White South Africans arriving as refugees at Dulles Airport outside Washington today on a plane chartered by the State Department, a process that usually takes years. Greeted by a top-ranking U.S. diplomat.
Welcome. Welcome to the United States of America.
And this from President Trump.
It's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about, but it's a terrible thing that's taking place, and farmers are being killed. They happen to be white, but whether they're white or black makes no difference to me.
The president signed an executive order in February calling them victims of unjust racial discrimination from the country's black majority.
Interesting.
Something the South African government vigorously denies. While today the administration also canceled temporary refugee status for as many as 14,000 Afghans already in the U.S., including many who served alongside the U.S. in the war. All face persecution from the Taliban if they are forced to go back.
That's how the media spins it up. They're like, oh, how dare you take in these white people when there's Afghans in Afghanistan facing persecution and there's 1,200 of them. I think that there was only like 58 of them or something like that, the refugees. So there wasn't like a whole swath of people. Brother, Afghanistan has been going like this for centuries. Even before I was even born, it's been going like this since then. How are you going to expect to take in everybody that gets persecuted over there? It's impossible. That's a situation where the governments need to do something about it. Over there, not us. Like, this white African thing was going on for, I think, a couple years. I think I heard about this in 2020, but it wasn't as big as it is now because, you know how Twitter was suppressed. A lot of the media platforms were suppressing stuff. But now it's getting out of control, and Trump's like trying to do something about it, trying to help. And they always allude to the fact that, oh, there's Afghans in Afghanistan that need rescuing. Like, man, they've been having a war since I was born. Like, they got to do something about it. We're tired of taking in these people. Okay, go back and whatever happens, happens. I mean, we're done with it. The American people are done with it.
South Africans also in sharp contrast to another executive order the president signed the day he took office, suspending new refugee admissions for everyone else, including black Sudanese escaping genocide and Latin Americans fleeing violent gangs.
And they bring up these other countries. It's just so funny. The news is so deceptive, guys. Like, man, it's crazy. We could go ahead and look at their countries. I guarantee they're not being persecuted. They just want to come over here and get free stuff. I promise you, if we look into it, which I'm not going to, but you guys can do that on your own time. But yeah, It's false. You guys are fake. You guys are disingenuous. It's disgusting. That's why y'all are failing. That's why nobody watches you guys anymore. So here's the leader of Africa right here. Let's go ahead and see what this dude has to say about what's going on.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm saying to you, we've not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future.
At least for now.
I mean, you'd understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter, they freak out. It sounds like a genocidal call.
Cry babies. Cry babies.
I'm not calling for the slaughter of white people, at least for now.
I can't give you a guarantee of the future, especially when things are going the way they are.
Subtext.
Especially if things are going the way they are, there will be a revolution in this country, I can tell you now. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm saying to you, we've not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future.
Yeah, but
That's crazy.
You'd understand.
So this dude is sitting here saying that we're not calling for violence against white people now. So there's something going on over there. That should tell you, right? That's a smoking gun right there. That something is happening in Africa where killing white people is rising up. It's something that they're calling for. It's not a federal law yet over there, but it could be. That's scary. That's why they're leaving. I would leave too. If Trump came up and said, okay, we're going to call out for violence for white people, we're making that legal, and if you die, oh well, I mean, it is what it is. I would leave this country too. I would be out of here. That's crazy. So if somebody who's white dies, they won't be held accountable for it because the whole country's calling for it. So it's funny because we're told that, oh, Africa is such a great place and everybody loves everybody, and it's not. It's horrible over there right now. I know there's good parts where if you have money and you're wealthy, there's nice parts of Africa, but for the majority of Africa, it's like the ones we see on TV with starving kids. So it looks like everybody's pretty happy in this picture right here. Everybody looks very happy that they're coming to America. They don't look like they deserve it. They're just happy to be here, which is great. Unlike a lot of the other illegal immigrants that are here. So you see all the white Africans right here. It's crazy to see that they're African. Like, I'm pretty sure if you talk to them, they have like a thick African accent.
Welcome to the United States of America.
A lot of you, I think, are farmers, right? When you have quality seeds, you can put them in foreign soil and they will blossom, they will bloom. And we are excited to welcome you here to our country where we think you will bloom, and we will hopefully allow you to have fulfilling lives for your children. And then when we will benefit alongside.
They already look like patriots, bro. What the flip? This dude looking like he's been plowing and farming for his whole life, which they are. They're all farmers. They already look like they're Americanized. This guy right here, too. This woman. They already look like freaking patriots, bro. They're like, oh, yup, I'm in America with Trump.
Then when we will benefit alongside you.
That's their video they put out for taking them in, which, you know, I'm pretty sure there's mixed feelings about it because have a massive, like, illegal immigration problem. Also, at the same time, it points out the lies in the liberal party. Yep, this is a good demonstration of what the immigrants look like. You know, these Mexican illegal immigrants from Mexico are walking on the street saying, "You can't deport us. That's illegal. You can't deport us. We're illegally here." And then you have this little happy little white girl right here just happy to freaking be here because they're not being persecuted in their country. This is a South African rap concert, and they're screaming, "Kill all white people." Let's watch. So they're putting their hands up in the air. You can't understand them, but look at all those people doing it too. That's wild. Imagine if there was a bunch of white people doing that to black people. Oh my gosh, the media would be all over that. If this happened in a European country and they were doing this for like black people, or they were doing it for like illegal immigrants, the media would be all over that. It's just crazy. This is happening and no media is covering this. It's crazy. So there's another news thing of people talking about this. Let's see what they have to say about this. They should be supportive, right? They keep on saying that we should accept everybody from different countries. So let's go ahead and see what they say.
Okay. So if you think about the history of South Africa, it being under an apartheid system, where I think it is 80% of the population that are black Africans only own 4% of the land. That is because they were put in shanty towns and moved into areas where they had no rights. And so 30 plus years ago, they went through a the apartheid system ended, and they reformed their constitution under the great leader of Nelson Mandela, and that allowed for a racial reconciliation, one that this country has yet to do. But South Africa did it, and they reformed their constitution, and part of that is that the people who are native to that land deserve their rightful land back. That is not what the Afrikaners actually want to have happen, which are the white Africans, and so who are not originally from Africa, who colonized South Africa also. And so that is...
When you say colonizer, I immediately disregard what you're about to say after that. They migrated over there, you freaking numbnuts. They didn't colonize. They went over there to settle over there. But if anything, they're settlers, not colonizers. So it's just so funny how these freaking liberals sit here and disregard anybody that's white. Anybody that's white. These people are African. They were born there. They were literally, their ancestors moved there, but they were born there. And this freaking moron on CNN is sitting here trying to disregard everything. Oh, they're not really going through persecution. They disagree with some politics. That's why they want to leave. You're freaking stupid, lady. Like, that you could go back to where you came from if you think that Africa is so great. If you want to stick up for Africa so much, go live there. It's just funny to me how these idiots disregard just because of your race. It's crazy to me. And see, like, something like this too. South Afrikaners leaving South Africa for the U.S. and they're in the KKK. Just imagine if this was Mexico or something, and they're all like MS-13 and saying all the immigrants from Mexico are moving to the U.S. and it's literally the cartel. Like, it's a double standard here. Very racist in my opinion. So like I said, I found a couple videos of these people who oppose the refugees, but even though they sit there and scream that we should accept everybody as an illegal immigrant, everybody is a citizen. Here is one person that disagrees with it. So let's go ahead and see what this goober has to say.
To the 50 Afrikaners who fled to the US, calling themselves refugees. You are not refugees. You are just a case study of white flight dressed up as martyrdom. You're not escaping violence, you're escaping equality. South Africa didn't chase you away. You ran. Yes, South Africa is one of the most violent countries in the world. Yes, brutality exists. But let's be honest, violence affects all communities, not just white farmers. Black, colored, Indian, and yes, white people are all targets of a national crime.
It's so funny to me how they will sit there and scream Black Lives Matter, that black people are being persecuted, that there's other countries that people are being persecuted because of politics, and they sit there and act like everybody is a victim. But as soon as it comes to white people, they say, oh, everybody gets persecuted. Not just white people, black people, Indian people. These people literally hate white people. It's crazy. And this dude's white. He's a liberal. And it's crazy to me because they're so deluded and brainwashed that they have to come up with something different. They have to come up with something to cope with. Their white people can be persecuted too. And they can't. That's why they're losing the elections. That's why they're losing arguments. That's why their philosophy and their ideology is falling. It doesn't make sense. You sit here and say, oh, black people can't be racist against white people because, you know, the predominantly white people in America. Let's go to Africa. Oh, that's a different story. They colonized there. They deserve their land. It's so hypocritical. It's disgusting. How can you live your life like this? Being so racist, it's crazy to me.
What we have is a breakdown in safety, not a white genocide. This is not ethnic cleansing, it's criminal collapse, and running to the US won't fix it. You are part of a 7% minority, but somehow still manages to control over 70% of the wealth. That is not persecution, that's privilege on a guilt trip.
I can't listen to this guy anymore. I want to see statistics of that. I don't believe that 7% of the country controls 70%. if that's the case, Africa sucks. The governments in Africa suck. I'm sorry to say that. I don't want to seem like I hate Africa or anything, but if that's the case, if 7% of white people control 70% of the country, that's an issue that Africa needs to deal with. They need to come up with policies to expand wealth. Maybe capitalism might help with that, but a lot of countries don't like capitalism because it's more freedom for them. So, like I said, disingenuous. People just make up stuff. I highly doubt that. I don't believe that. You got to show me some proof there, buddy. So what do you guys think about this? You guys think it's a little too far for taking in African refugees who happen to be white? Do you think that everybody's right, that white people own 70% of the land in Africa? That's why they're being persecuted, and it's okay because they're colonizers? Go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments below. I just think that this is crazy, and it really exposes liberals and what their mindset is on, because it's not for inclusion. It's because they hate white people. They're anti-white. This whole party's anti-white, and I hope they start throwing these radical leftists out of their party so we could just coexist again. It's just wild to see that so many people hate white people who are on the left. It's sad. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to this channel for more content like this. I'll see you guys in the next video.